As you know, there have been people who have been calling for impeachment for a long time, even before I got into Congress in January. And I have not been supportive of an impeachment inquiry up until now. But I will tell you that for me, it did change, and it changed based on the information that came out in the past couple of weeks. Very specifically, the issue that got to me was this idea that the president, the most powerful man in the world, reached out to a foreign leader, and asked him to dig up dirt on an American, on a political This is
fake news. Don't
So-
buy into it. He's your president.
Wait, we can't hear Alyssa.
Newly released text messages suggest the White House wanted to make a presidential visit and military aid contingent on the Ukrainians investigating Joe Biden and the 2016 U.S. election.
Oh, hey, Mr. Trump. What's new?
What do you mean, what's new, Rudy? I'm being impeached. It's the greatest presidential harassment of all time, I would know. I'm like the president of harassment.
You gotta relax, Mr. Trump. We got nothing to worry about. Nobody's gonna find out about our illegal side dealings with the Ukraine.
It looks like the Democrats have made a decision this week, not based on what is politically expedient or what might get them reelected.
House Democrats have subpoenaed the White House for documents related to the president's controversial July phone call with Ukraine's leader, pressuring him to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter, who served on the board of a Ukrainian gas company.
You've got a president that's acting like a global gangster.
Even some Republicans are criticizing Trump.
I think it's terrible. It's something that I wouldn't have done.
Utah Senator Mitt Romney called the president's actions wrong and appalling.
They made the decision to do this based on because it was right. And any time the Democrats make a decision because it's right to do it, it's morally right to do it, they will find millions of people flocking to the polls to support them, because that's the country we live in now.
Republicans claim the president's actions are just politics as usual. They're insisting there is no connection between the president's decision to withhold $400 million in U.S. military aid to Ukraine.
At one point, the top American diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor, asks, are we now saying that security assistance and White House meeting are conditioned on investigations? The response from the American ambassador to the EU, a Trump donor with no previous diplomatic experience, call me.
There is a real chance we will know once and for all if Trump did the things he openly admits to doing. Well, he did admit it this week. You know, we saw a transcript of the call that's at the center of this big controversy with the Ukrainian president, where he asked a favor of the Ukrainian president. And this raises some very serious questions, like, is there a foreign country he hasn't asked to interfere in our elections? Any of them.
Why did you wince?
Because I didn't want those connected. And I was supporting the aid, as is Senator Murphy, as is everybody that went to that initial inauguration. But here's the salient point of why I came forward. When I asked the president about that, he completely denied it. He adamantly denied it.
This as the investigation intensifies. Democrats tonight officially sending a subpoena to the White House and signaling they want documents from Vice President Mike Pence, too. The Inspector General who investigated the whistleblower's complaint and deemed it credible spent hours on Capitol Hill answering questions in a closed hearing.
On Twitter today, the president once again attacked the former vice president, writing, based on all of the money he and his family probably extorted, Joe should hang it up. But Biden had a message for the president. In a Washington Post op-ed, he called Mr. Trump, quote, wholly unfit to be president, adding, you won't destroy me and you won't destroy my family.
I mean, look, it may come to nothing. Like I say, I've been down this road before, but you know what? For now, it feels good. Feels good. Feels like that moment when a parent goes, you know, the timeouts aren't working. I'm going to slap them.